podcast Lift Me Up. My name is Valerie.
And my name is not Valerie, but Borut.
Today we are in our monastery in the studio in Atelier, and today's topic for the podcast is longevity. I prepared a bit of material in advance, a few of scientifical proven things we will talk about, what science says, and Boru doesn't know about this list yet. And the idea is that we touch individual topics.
Yeah. This topic is very important for both of us, but especially for Valerie, because I'm her candidate for her reproduction.
Yeah, and as maybe you noticed, there's a bit of the age gap between us, so it's important that we also maybe talk about this. Why is it important that we are both live long lives, not just both of us?
And I know that you're wondering, and let's put this off the table. I am the older one.
So maybe let's jump quickly into the longevity topic. So, like, this list is constructed, I combined a few of the most important like longevity studies. And in all of the studies, the number one, what do you think is number one priority in longevity?
So the question is, if people want to live long, what is the deciding factor? Which is
Yeah, sure. More, any of them, but what would you put on the first spot? Like the most important out of all the stats? What did they?
the meaning.
Meaning?
Meaning, like meaning,
Purpose.
the purpose of life. Why are you alive? You know, that's if I may say, Viktor Frankl is very known and famous, or was a known and famous Austrian psychiatrist who survived a Holocaust, and he actually on in the worst place on the planet in the history. He was analyzing and who will survive, who will not, and the purpose is the one that was like deciding factor.
Yeah, definitely. We will touch on the purpose. I think maybe I put my question not really specific because the longevity is like also one side is psychological and the other side is physical. So maybe in general, I will ask you again what you think is like our like internal organs are getting older, we're getting older, and of course our DNA is getting older. But what is something that distinguishes somebody who is living like 60 years and somebody is living 90 years?
We're talking about average, right?
Yeah, of course, average. Physical factor, let's call it.
Well, I think, again, like I think the most important thing is if you have a reason to be healthy, if you have a reason to be active, if people need you, if your friends, and if you have friends that you can participate, if you have a knowledge that you want to pass on, if you have kids, grandkids, all that is as a reason for one to choose a healthier lifestyle, to choose more positive path, and yeah.
You live longer. Yeah, definitely. I would say, so I will read now what the science say. You said something really important, that you choose active lifestyle. So this is like the first thing which is constantly in all the studies, the number one priority is movement. So movement is one of the strongest foundation of longevity because the body is designed to move throughout life.
Yeah.
So maybe first topic now is movement. Movement meaning physically moving the body. Like for us, we can maybe share what we do for longevity in terms of movement.
Talking about movement, there was a science study, which I cannot link at the moment, but everybody can Google. They made like 4 groups of people. Healthy eating, lots of movement. Healthy eating, no movement. Lots of movement, bad eating, but
Not
unhealthy diet, and unhealthy diet and no
Movement meaning no movement meaning like sedentary lifestyle. Right?
Yeah, so of course, like the most healthy were the ones who were eating healthy and moving, right? The opposite, the ones who were not moving and not eating healthy were the worst. But number two, the second place was the people who were moving, like who were active and eating unhealthy.
So movement, yeah, is
It's
important.
movement. If you are sweating, if your body is, if you give your livers, your hands, your legs every day a reason to work and sweat, that definitely gives a signal to your body that it's not time to retire.
to, to to lay down forever. I think the movement itself, like my perspective, and also how I was following these trends in the last years because I wanted to upgrade my movement, is exactly that, as you said. Like when we are moving, like our joints are constantly lubricating, our internal organs are moving, the digestion is moving. So, we are processing all that. And what are we doing for the movement? Like me and you specifically. Can you share with the listeners?
Yes. I'm just wondering where to start. We just got back from fitness
Gym.
gym. So last week I had a workshop, photography workshop, whole day. I had participants from Switzerland, Ireland, and wait,
Yeah.
Canada from Toronto. So they said, oh, and on Sunday, you have a free time, you will rest. And I said, well, I'm going to rest. I'm going to go to my mom's place, and I have like a pile of firewood to to put away. So there was no rest. So what do we do? I mean,
We run.
of course, we run every day.
Yeah, we
Every
try to
morning.
run like half an hour in the morning.
Yeah.
Like it's enough, otherwise we can overdo it.
We have a dog, which means that we have to not only run in the morning, but also in the afternoon. We have to go for a long walk. What else?
We do strength training in the
Strength
gym.
training, yeah.
It's important, especially studies show that life after 50
Yeah.
gives you this challenge that muscle is getting it's dissolving faster. I don't know what's the correct term for that. But if you wanna keep fit, you have to do strength training.
Yep.
Means lift weight,
Yep.
not just like run or walk and stuff like that. That's really important. Also for the spine, for example, my job is very like office work, so I'm constantly behind computer, and if I wouldn't dedicate every day like an hour just to specifically go running and do some muscle strength training, I think I would just slowly, like my joints would be really weak and I would have a lot of issue with like the backing.
For sure, for sure. And you know what's the magic?
What is the
The magic trick. The hack for longevity.
objective?
Longevity.
What is it?
Regular sexual intercourses.
I think
True.
that is important. Also, the movement, the physical fitness is impacting libido and like testosterone and all of that. So it is true.
Definitely, because if the body is getting weak, well, like just think about functions of a body. Which one will be sacrificed the first? Is the reproductive, like the reproductive. I mean, so basically, when people get what is this diabetes, right?
Yeah.
The first thing that it goes is erection. That's how it is with men and with women. I don't.
Libido also is very important. I think it's hormonal balance, and it's connected with the movement, with the taking care of your body. And let's maybe
Needless to say, not that I would brag, but I have my sugar levels are perfect.
I confirm. Let's now
Also, doctor refer.
let's check what the science is saying about the movement. So the World Health Organization recommends 150 to 300 minutes of moderate physical activity per week, or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous activity plus strength training at least twice a week. So if you're just like casually walking, so 300 per week. But if you're running, it's at least, this means minimum 150 plus at least 2 times strength training per week. And when I think about my parents, for example, and this older generation, I'm not sure. I mean, of course, if they were living on a farm and lifting heavy things, that is activity. But people living in an office space in apartments, if you don't dedicate like 2 times per week, 2 days, it's an minimum.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. Physical activity is crucial. Physical activity gives a signal to a body that it's needed.
It needs to continue the journey. So let's check what is number two. The like second priority, number two, is according to this all these studies from World Health Organization and some others they checked. All of them agree that on the second spot, so movement is first, and the second spot is actually connected to the story you said earlier, is healthy nutrition. So what we eat every day is not only about weight, but about energy, inflammation, metabolism, and long-term health. So this is like about the food, as you said. Movement is actually a bit more important than the food, but it's extremely important that, for example, if you move a lot, that you get enough food. Of course, otherwise your body starts to hibernate, save energy. But maybe the problem of 21st century is like overeating. And that means that your body like starts to store fat, and then it's a bit difficult to do the movement. And your brain is getting the signals, okay, I'm a bit too big, I cannot do sports, let's just sit and rest. And I know because I was in that story.
Yeah. And then you have like in this cursed circle of gaining more weight and moving less. If you move, you are getting out of breath and so on.
Yeah, I think in like definitely for longevity. Also, I read a few studies about. Did you ever hear about? I think it's called blue nations. It's some blue zones around the world. So they figured that I don't remember now specifically, but I know in Sardinia there's a blue zone, and in some like islands they found people who are living more than 100 years, all of them, like the whole community, and they didn't know what was the reason, and they saw that it's like on the other side of the world, and they found a few connections between those blue zones. First they thought it's about some, I don't know, energies from the earth or whatever, but then they analyzed their lifestyle and they figured that moderation is important with food. All of these parts of like the world who are in the blue zone, they actually have maybe a bit, they lack processed food. Like in the shops you cannot buy like stuff, you just have to grow it on the field. So they realized that the connection between those people is stress-free life. There was no big city, it's just like village and nothing else. Moderate food, and of course a lot of movement because they had to work a lot.
Yeah.
So definitely for longevity, people who eat in moderation, they will for sure go away from the diabetes. They would avoid that. Of course, if you are healthy weight, you would have less health issues.
Yeah. Like I myself personally, I had like in my diet, I often had I was fasting. For instance, I that was like a long time ago I started, and then I noticed that during the weekend I ate too much, and then on Monday I said I'm not going to eat anything until from Sunday evening till Tuesday morning. I haven't eaten anything. I just drank water and tea and so on, and that actually was very beneficial for me. And I mean now I have done several times in this year, but not so much as I used to.
You should maybe restart this habit.
Restart, yeah.
Yeah,
It, so because it's actually is not very hard. It's hard to start, to get used to it. But then it's just like every habit, so it's no big deal.
yeah, that's a matter of maybe also the mind. It's actually the
Yeah,
how strong can you be in the mouth.
of course, like, of course.
All the shops are packed with food. The fridge is packed.
Yeah, yeah, and so and there was this guy, of course I forgot the name, who got the Nobel Peace Prize for proving how this mechanism works. So basically, when you're fasting, you don't receive enough food. So each day, our body loses about, like, I don't know, like for one steak of cells. That's everything from hair to skin to livers to whatever, everything. All whole body is like loses, I don't know, 100 or so grams of cells. And if you're fasting, if you don't have enough food, if you're fasting, this cells will be recycled. So the your body will get these amino acids, separate them, and they will recycle them. If you're getting every day excessive food, like if you cannot even if you can even you can if you cannot even digest what you get every day, well, there is no need for the recycling. So then you have all this rush. I mean, not rush hour, but basically, yeah, like it jams. Your body jams.
Yeah, I think like I tried fasting as well. I did this intermittent fasting, not 24 hours, but like 18 hours without, no, 16 hours without eating, and then 8 hours window where you can eat. There's many theories, but I think the most important here is to find what you personally feel comfortable with, because some people cannot even do like 5 hours without eating, but some people can do like 3 days also. But it's important to limit yourself.
I think it's just the matter of habit.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly.
if you have a reason, like if somebody said, I don't want to torture myself, I'm happy with as it is. That's how it is. That if somebody, have a reason to be healthy, and then
Yeah, you need to have motivation to do that.
really,
For otherwise, I think it's impossible to do any fasting.
yeah, because if or whatever, like if you have a motivation to achieve something, then you will do. Will you want to climb the mountain? Why are you doing it? We humans have this amazing ability to think and to communicate and to share, and so on and so on. And that is our blessing, and also many types of curse. But in this case, like you really can become a master of your destiny, or at least you steer it, like you like a skipper steering your a sailboat. It will not fly, it will not go, but it will go one direction, will go much slower than the other. But if you're a skilled skipper, you will get to the point where you want to be.
Yeah, line definitely brings challenges, but we have to continue. Maybe I will just finish this thought about the nutrition with scientific recommendation. I didn't, of course, collect all of them because there's thousands of different theories, but I would agree with this. The circulation study on health, lifestyle factors, and life expectancy identifies a high quality diet as one of the 5 key habits linked to a longer life. You basically just said it. And now let's go to another actually connected topic. Then on the third spot is it's not about the food, but food definitely impacts healthy body weight. So it means longevity is also connected to maintaining a body weight that supports the heart, hormones, joints, and metabolism. So that means, like when I was checking all the studies, in general, if you would do like results on the paper, people who were overweight were in general living less time than people who had like normal body weight. Also, people who were underweight also were having like shorter life expectancy. So it's extremely important that we have moderation and balance in our life. And that's,
So how are we doing that?
at the moment, we are on the top scale of this normal body weight, I would say. It would be great maybe to lose a pound or two, but we are doing okay, I would say.
We are Europeans, so we have no idea what pound is. So off we go.
So let's continue to another one. Because we spoke a lot about this body. Now, I guess this is more about the hobbies. On the fourth place in all the studies, they showed something which sounds extremely logical, but let's mention it. Not smoking. one of the clearest and most proven choices for longevity is not smoking. So I don't think we have anything else to say. It's kind of a given
Okay.
answer.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, the circulation study identifies never smoking as one of the 5 strongest lifestyle factors linked to longer life. And there's, of course, a lot of studies. Some of them are saying if you smoke, it's every cigarette is giving you like 3 minutes less of your life and stuff like that.
Every cigarette takes 3 minutes of your life, and give it to Kate Richards.
And number 5, little or no alcohol. Longevity is not only about adding healthy habits, but also about reducing the things that quietly damage the body over time. We already had one podcast about alcohol, so I think we already cleared this one out. And then number 6,
Number 6.
this is actually something not mentioned often, but when I think about it, it's something we also maybe need to improve a little bit ourselves. Quality sleep.
Oh yeah.
Sleep is not wasted time, but one of the most important forms of recovery for the body, brain, and immune system. So here, Ivan, maybe I can add what science recommends. The American Academy of Sleep, interesting, and the Sleep Research Society recommends that adults sleep at least 7 hours per night for optimal health.
7 hours per night.
Every night.
So
You usually go to bed 10 or 11 p.m.
yeah, and we got 4, 6.
Yeah, how many is that?
Yeah, it's 7.
Is it 7? Okay, we're doing good then.
Yeah.
No, but sleep, I remember if I share my experience now with you, I think I found my balance. We are both supporting each other that we have these habits. But when I was a bit younger, I remember I was staying up late until midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Also, I was waking up quite early because, of course, you got school, you got work, whatever. And I didn't really pay attention. And another really thing I can add here is that there's because also your lifestyle as an artist, and I was working in arts, there was many events happening late in the night. I was constantly present in all those events, even though I felt that maybe I should go home early because to respect myself, my quality of sleep, and I stayed there longer. But in the last years I improved. I was like, if I suddenly felt that I'm getting tired, I would just say thank you, it's a nice evening, but I'm going home to sleep. It's something that maybe we should embrace because otherwise.
I cannot sleep longer than after 6, maybe 7. 7 might be my personal record. I just cannot. So if I feel there is a sun coming, except when we had jet lag.
Oh, the jet lag is another.
That's another one. But so that's why for me it's crucial to go earlier to bed, and I'm glad that I'm not glad in the evening, but I'm glad in the morning because you're already in bed, and I am kind of I know that it's time to go to bed. So
Yeah, when I was younger, also I remember that I also always thought that I have this insomnia where I cannot sleep and stuff like that. But then I realized that because I was not doing much during the day, I had completely different lifestyle. Now we're just like, I go to work, we go running, we go there, we basically just fall to sleep. Really, how can we continue if we have our day is full? But if you cannot do much during the day, if you're on the couch already binge watching series, of course you cannot sleep during the night because your body is basically resting.
Yeah.
So that's maybe a cure for insomnia.
Yeah.
Turn off the TV
And screen.
and then number 7 is something you maybe started this conversation already. It's called social relationship. Longevity is deeply connected to relationships because humans need connection, belonging, and emotional support. And the 24 Lancet Commission on Dementia Prevention identifies social isolation as a big risk factor for cognitive decline in dementia, which makes social connection an important part of healthy aging. So, for example, we already, of course, know some cases that there's like some old people all by themselves. The decline is much faster. That's why I think the retirement homes make sense, that people have company. But let's maybe not wait until we are in retirement home, also me and you, we both appreciate family time.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the most important things.
Yes, and a good cure against dementia and aging is our kids and grandkids,
Yeah.
definitely, which is part of that. Like one of the explanations or theories, I'm not sure, I don't know if it's true, but definitely makes sense, is like why women are living longer than men is because they play as grandmothers, they play more active role than grandfathers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because mom is always like, especially in the beginning, like more connected to the her mom, and her mom is basically, she was a mom too, so she's teaching and taking care and so on, so on. So that's one of the reasons.
Ah, that's interesting. Also, maybe you can mention here, you mentioned something about dementia, about learning new instruments.
Have I?
Not yet in this podcast, but I think you should mention this.
Make a joke. Um, yeah. The thing when you said like socializing, monotony life, like it's also very, you know, the question is how. It's not like, for me, the question is not how long will I live, but how many days will I live? Will it be only one and it will be on repeat for thousands of times, or will it be, it will be every day, will be, if not for,
Seize the day.
yeah, seize the day. I really know. And learning is definitely something. If I take my father as a role model, he was retired. He was build a house and did with a pool and everything, so he could, and he was he enjoyed his time in front of television and everything.
But
But
still,
he was very active, and he found his own activity. For instance, um, he started to he loved to cook and do everything around. Yeah, so invent new food with
cheese.
beer, wine, cheese, with walnuts, from scratch, of course. He also made a wine no, Melissa.
So like herbs.
Yeah, from herbs, and I don't know. Like, he also was like not kneading, like he was making a basket.
Ready, like with, I
I
don't know, ranchos. Yeah, there's a special.
yeah.
You sure it's for that?
Probably some.
He was making baskets out
Yeah.
of branches. Yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, so
Building stuff.
he thought, he in the last period of his life, he was still learning. He still had the passion to open and learn something, skills, and his hands were actually, the age took the toll, and also so his hands were not very strong, but he was keep on going, like he still had his. So I'm also like that on my father. I love to learn new things, and unfortunately I also get bored with persistence is I am persistent in certain, but consistent, I might not. I might have a room of improve.
This is something very important, of course, but really it's not impacting longevity. So I think you will still have many, many interesting years ahead. Let's continue to number 8, mental activity and learning. Basically, we just open this topic.
Yeah.
A long life is not only about keeping the body active, but also about keeping the mind curious, flexible, and engaged, which we already now discussed. And then number 9, prevention and health monitoring. This is also something, if I speak with my generation, now some of them are already doing focus on that, but most of them are like, oh, I don't want to go to the checkups, regular checkups, like, oh, I will see what will happen in the future. So longevity also depends on knowing what is happening inside the body before problems become serious. And this is, of course, I would agree. I mean, I believe in science. It's like to do at least every 3 years blood work and, some monitoring, because many, many things occur when it's too late, with cancer and like, maybe your tooth starts to hurt. But if you don't regularly do dentist checkup,
Yeah, I have a couple anecdotes, like personal stories. When I was in secondary school, I had like sudden, like at night, I had sudden fever attacks. Like I had like, I don't know, 39 degrees. I was shaking, like really high temperature. And in the morning, this temperature was gone, and I got up and I went to school and so on. And this happened maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, 5 times a year or something like that. Very, very rare. And then maybe at the end it was like every month, so it was more often, and they didn't know what is going on. And I went through all the medical checkups. They really tried everything, and then all of them came out normal and so. And then when I when a dentist took out one of my tooth, she was healing, she was like trying to heal it, and then it wasn't that she took the tooth out. I had the same kind of fever that evening, and I but very, very weak. And I realized, there was in my tooth. So basically, the pus from the infection from the tooth got like, I was sleeping, got in my bloodstream, and I got like poisoning in my blood, and I got this huge fever, and then it then finished because it was not so big. And
You were like still a teenager.
yeah, I was in secondary school. So so this was something that is like. And by the way, the teeth are very much connected with heart. If there is like, so that's that.
I think it's very important for the regular checkups.
Yeah.
Of course, that.
I have an anecdote. We have my regular checkup was few months ago, and Valerie said, I want to go with you. I said, well, if you want to drive, because I moved here, so we have to drive 1 hour south, yeah, to my old doctor. So she said, yeah, I want to go with you to keep you a company. I said, okay, no problem. And then we were waiting at the medical, and she called me and said, I want to go inside. And I said, you want to go inside? Yeah, like, can she go? And the nurse said, well, if you permit, it's okay. Well, of course, she can go with it. And then in the middle of the checkout, I realized, oh my God, Valerie doesn't believe me. Doesn't believe me what I'm going to say, like if I'm going to lie about my health or something like that, And then I said to the nurse, measure very well and precise, because if you're going to measure incorrectly, she will be the one that will complain. She will be the one to claim warranty, because I'm her candidate for reproduction, for her reproduction. Our reproduction.
Maybe there's a bit of truth in that. But yeah, I really wanted to hear about all the nice results. They were all positive.
Oh, perfect.
And then
by the way, I said she was measuring my blood pressure. I said, listen, our these devices for blood pressure, they're being calibrated on my and they were laughing, and actually it came out 80, 120.
It was good result. Really good, especially for your health. I mean, the age and health, it's perfect.
Yeah, just to repeat again, I'm the older one between us.
And the last one from all these lists, so this is the mashup of everything, is stress management and mental health. And this is what you started this conversation with about mental health, like I'm purpose and all of that. So a long and healthy life is not only physical, because chronic stress and poor mental health affect the whole body. And here, yeah, I would definitely return to your opening statement that, okay, one thing is stress. We talked about stress already, but let's touch maybe the mental health a little bit. And here there's a lot of things to discuss, but I would maybe like finish all of that discussion about finding the purpose. We are now focusing a lot of longevity, of course, because you already said that you want to live at least 30 more years. You have some passion, conservation, active years. So I think
Then another 20 as a mummy.
mommy, it's passive sanitary, like binge watching Netflix for 20 years.
As a plant.
No, but I would say, like, for sure, there's like, of course, different things connected to mental health. But one of the things is that when you wake up in the morning, that you have some kind of like goal you want to achieve. There, one goal is of course professional, one goal is personal, and all of that is giving you like some kind of energy boost for to doing everyday tasks, to move, to eat healthy, to like spend time with people, with friends and family. So I would say these studies put mental health on the last spot, but I would definitely agree more with you. You put it on the first spot. Because if you don't have good mental health, all of these things we counted at the beginning, it doesn't matter because you don't have any motivation to do it.
I think that should be in the first place. Why? I mean, I mentioned Viktor Frankl and in Survivor of Holocaust, but I can mention also my neighbors were vets who were working with testing medicine in a lab for one pharmaceutical company in Slovenia, and they said they have to separate females from males, because if the male will send a female in a room, he will survive longer.
Wait, I don't understand.
So they were testing
What kind of animals?
mice.
Ah, mice.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mention that.
Oh, okay.
Like, mice would survive longer if there would be a female around, because the female scent will give a mice an idea of reproduction, of having babies. Yeah. So they had to separate them so that then we'll get like more normal results of dying. Like,
What? So longevity kept the mice, I mean, they lived longer if there was some female present.
definitely.
What?
You know,
Oh, I love that.
well, you know.
That's why you did trivia.
Yeah, well, there's nothing more stimulating than young wife.
Oh my god!
No,
This is
I'm sorry, what you show me.
why not stalker?
But that's true. But but to answer your question, for me, like if I had like in my past, I went through some dark periods, and especially last 10 years, for me it was the crucial was everything that you mentioned, the exercise and so on, but also meditation. Like my morning routine consisted of the meditation and Tai Chi exercise, and that was like for me every single morning. Like I got up really early, at least. So I love to get up really early, so I had at least 1 hour of peace before the chaos starts. And if I had like 1 hour of peace, this peace was with me no matter what happened during the day. Even if it was a chaos, I still had, I was not fully immersed. It was kind of like I still have my anchor in touch with my peace. So that's how it was.
Yeah, I think mental health and stress, which is now pointed on the last 10 spot, of course, is also important. But I would agree. I think it's the most important. Also for myself, I can immediately realize if I'm in stress mode, if I'm in like this darker period, everything falls. Like I start to eat junk.
Yeah.
I don't sleep. I just wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
It impacts everything.
Let me explain, and this is again scientific. When you're under stress, you are in a flight or fight mode. So that means your body is saying, and it cannot recognize if it's an email from your boss, or if it's a lion, trying to eat you. Like this for body is the same. And because you're in this stress mode, and because we have this, as I mentioned before, we have this amazing tool called our brains, our mind, and our way of we can think. This could be really stressful. So we are sending the signal to the body to survive. And the problem is that when our body is in flight or fight mode, what happens? Digestion goes down, because you are in a fight flight mode. You need more oxygen for in your hands, not in your tummy. You need your more of your breathing. You're more focused. You're not relaxed. You're tense. So that's why even if you're eating healthy, even if you're eating the best bio and ecological whatever food, and you're having the best diet, if you're gonna be under stress, this will not get into you. This will be just like expensive
Wasted food.
expensive caca and excessive noodle, because it will go through you, because it cannot absorb, because your body is not ready to eat. The body is in a state of shock and a state of fight, so it will the eating is not so important, so this will prioritize so that's the whole, like, in a nutshell, why the stress is so damaging us, because a lot and also the cells are
Yeah, and the hormones are falling apart, everything, the
Yeah.
vitamins,
yeah.
which are supposed to feed you, they're like destroying.
Yeah. So you can eat, you can get the best, but it will not be absorbed.
Yeah. So I would say that me and Borut, both of us, we're trying our best
Yeah.
to focus on longevity. We're lifting each other up, supporting each other.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a blessing if, of course, you can find a partner, a husband or wife, which can support you of this journey. Of course, for all of you who are single, who like don't have this in your life, I would say that try to be strong, try to continue. But if you have a chance to find somebody like we found each other, I think it's another 11 point in this whole list that you can be in a partner, in a family that is, of course, lifting you up.
Yeah. That's definitely true. And for myself personally, I feel that our relationship is like life gave me a second chance, something that I believed and I worked all my life, and then everything collapsed. And then, I had some very
Challenging moment.
challenging moments. By the way, also this week we were in a yellow press.
You can mention that.
So
In Yellow Pages, there was like in Slovenia, we are, I guess, known around
we are kind of
semi-celebrities.
yeah. In Slovenia we don't have really celebrities, but
But there were some Yellow
People
Pages.
know us, though.
Yeah, I was on one public event. I went without Borut because Borut was working, and then immediately after 2 days, it was on in Yellow Pages. If the wedding is still happening,
if it's cancelled, if
or
it's
if the
cancelled,
wedding is cancelled.
no, of course it's not. Why he thinks like so? Anyway, so but to admit this, the article was, although it was yellow, it was not totally fine. Like it wasn't,
Yeah, it was a positive article. So if you have
because a year ago, this was like a different
was a
story,
different story
because the
of the past. Let's just finish.
of the past and the
Now
toxic
the future is bright. The longevity is happening, and I think we should finish with the thought that everything will be okay.
even if everything will not be okay,
It's
it is what it is. It's one life. We have to live it.
Thank you for listening us. Please subscribe. Check borutpetrolin.com. He has photography workshops if some of you are interested.
We're also going to the 1st of August. We'll have a workshop in Maniago,
In Italy. Yeah?
in Italy. So
Yeah, just check the page.
yeah, and see you there. Bye.